Hey everyone, last month I released a video where I told you that there could be a big increase coming in 2022 to Social Security benefits. I said that there are still a few things that need to fall into place before we could be sure, but things were starting to point towards a large cost of living adjustment. Well, today we have another month of inflation data reported that reinforces what I said last month. Unless something weird happens, the inflation numbers are pointing towards a large increase in Social Security benefits for 2022, possibly the biggest increase in 30 years. But this is still fluid. If you want to stay up to date on this as things change, you need to subscribe if you haven't already and click that notifications bell, and that way you'll be notified when I release a new video, which I plan to do as this develops. On the 10th of every month, the Bureau of Labor Statistics releases the monthly inflation numbers for the prior month. And last month, the index that's tied to the Social Security cost of living adjustments, the CPIW, was up 4.7% as compared to April of last year. Now we have the May number, and it was up 5.6% as compared to May of last year. So yet again, I suspect this is going to lead to a flurry of news articles about how this may impact the Social Security cost of living adjustment that's going to be announced in October of this year and take effect with the checks paid in January of 2022. So like I did last month, I'm going to break this down a little and take a look at the data we have available now and see how this may play into the final number. A big increase to Social Security would certainly be welcome. There's no question about that. The average for the last 15 years has been 1.9%. And if you look at all cost of living adjustments since 1984, there have only been 2 years that were higher than April's reading of 4.7%. And only 1 year that was higher than May's reading of 5.6%, and it was barely higher than that. But it's really important to understand that the annual cost of living adjustment to Social Security is only based on the average of the third quarter reading from the CPIW. So that's the average from the months of July, August, and September. The other months that we're talking about today don't even matter, and they're not counted in. So this leads to the obvious question: do the months leading up to the third quarter reading give us any real indication of how the third quarter number and the resulting cost of living adjustment will end up? Since the early months are up, is it safe to assume that the months that actually matter will also be higher? Well, like I did last month, I went back through the Bureau of Labor Statistics data to see how closely correlated these months are to the final number that'll be announced in October. And what I found out was that these increases are generally a good indicator of how the Q3 number is going to end for that July, August, and September. For the baseline, you can look at the actual cost of living adjustments in every year since 1975. Then we can look at the annual CPI data for January through May of every year and see how it compares. And what we find is that the numbers are actually very close. So the information that we have thus far for this year gives us a good indication of how the year is going to end up. What starts tracking the first few months is probably going to be how the year turns out, or very close. If we isolate this to the month of May and compare that increase to the eventual COLA, we see the same results. The numbers are very close. So it's starting to look like we could see an increase to Social Security benefits of 5% or more. But like I said last time, these are crazy times, and inflation can be volatile. I'd expect this estimate to change several times between now and the final release of the Q3 numbers. And if you want to keep up with the changes between now and then, be sure you're subscribed and you have those notifications turned on. And look, if you want to understand more about Social Security, you really ought to get your free copy of my cheat sheet. This is where I've taken the most important rules and numbers from the Social Security website, and I've condensed it down to just one page. But if you're ready to move beyond this one-sheeter and you want a more thorough explanation of the basics, you really ought to check out my course. Whether you're a soon-to-be retiree who wants to make sure you get all the benefits you've earned, or maybe you're a detail-oriented planner who just wants to double-check their knowledge about how Social Security works, or maybe a divorced spouse who wants to know what benefits you can expect, this course is going to give you the answers you've been looking for and the support you need on your journey to an awesome retirement. There's a link in the description where you can read more and get instant access. Thanks for watching.